Hey guys, so I just recently saw recently, like just literally turned the trailer off right now for the reboot to The Running Man that's going to be coming out this year, maybe, hopefully. I am a big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So when the original film came out, it was one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger films. To see it get a reboot has me super excited about what this movie can potentially be, possibly. I mean, it's got a lot to live up to with the Arnold Schwarzenegger version. But this particular movie going forward seems like it's on the right path. First and foremost, the first things that I notice about this is that the not titular, the main character of this movie is Ben Richards is going to be starred by Glenn Powell. If you're not familiar with Glenn Powell, he actually starred in Twisters, and he did such a great job in Twisters that actually made me forget about the original version of it because he's so charismatic. Not that he's a big action star, but I think he's a good screen. He has a good screen presence that makes kind of gets you involved in the film. And this one uh seemingly is starting his action star career. I know you may say he was like in Top Gun Maverick, but the only action star in Top Gun has always been Tom Cruise. He's the only action star in anything that he's in. And then he did like a rom-com with Sydney Sweeney. So like I said, seeing him in action star, I really got big hopes for going forward in this particular movie. Now, one of the greatest things about The Running Man was the action and the over the topness of the film. It was big, it was kind of big, and like Paul how you say his name? Paul the dude who directed RoboCop and Total Recall. Verhoeven, I think that's how you say his name. That guy. This movie, The Running Man, did he direct that Running Man? Now I have to look that up. Um that movie always felt like that, where it's just over the top. I hope that they maintain that in this particular version, because the over the topness of this film, of the original film, is what sold it. Having big characters, having the over the top uh uh um presenter, there's another word for that, the over the top presenter for the show, kind of keeps you invested in it. Now this movie does seem like it's going to stay more with the Stephen King book version, because in the original one it was more based on like, hey, wanted criminals, or sorry, convicted criminals are being put into this game forcefully. In the Stephen King book, it was more like people trying to earn money, and it seems that's what the Ben Richards character is doing in this particular film, so that way he can earn money for his family. Now, the scope of this is way bigger than what the original was, at least in the trailer, it seems like, because it says that it's going to be a nationwide hunt, where in the original film, it seemed like they were like to little desolate, bad parts of towns where they could murder somebody and nobody would care. This one's going to be taking place nationwide over 30 days. So it seems like there's going to be a lot going on, and I don't know how he's expected to get across the country to get away from people, but I guess that's when you have to watch the movie to kind of figure that part out. Now, I do take away right now is that, or my big takeaway right now is that it doesn't seem like it's gonna have those larger than life characters hunting down our protagonists in a sense, where the original one had, where you had like almost comic book characters going out to go hunt these people. Now, this seems like this is gonna be more of a Hitman style movie, where I guess it's kind of like John Wick meets the Hunger Games in a sense, but I guess Stephen King wrote that before both of those films. So they were based on this. But either way, that's a downs part that's a kind of a down one of a downer for me in this particular one. We're not gonna have those big characters. Other things that I like about the trailer so far is that it did state that Edgar Wright's gonna be directing this film. And I'm a big fan of Edgar Wright. I think he does some very innovative movies, stuff that I love to this day. Like if you ever seen Baby Driver or Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and if you're a big Ant-Man fan, which I'm sure there's a lot of those, the only good Ant-Man is the first one, which he was heavily involved in, where he actually wrote the majority of the script, I think, and was directing the film until he had a falling out with Marvel, where he left and then somebody else basically just kind of took over his work. See, Zack Snyder and Josh Whedon. But either way, like what he does is always fun and upbeat, kind of like a Guy Ritchie, I guess, in a sense, but not, because I don't like everything that Guy Ritchie does. But either way, the rest of the cast is also pretty awesome on here too, because it looks like Josh Brolin's gonna be in here. He looks like he's gonna be the TV exec, and the game show hosts are gonna be two different characters. But him as a TV exec is okay, but it makes me feel like he's not going to have much of a big impact to this. It seems like more on screen time we're going to see is with Coleman Domingo. And if you're not familiar with Coleman Domingo, he was on Severed as that ominous character that was in the office all the time. I can't remember the character's name. But either way, I'm very happy to see him get another role outside of that, even though his role seems like it was written for Sam Jackson. It seemed like Samuel Jackson just said, nah, you can give it to the other black guy, I guess. But either way, it seems like from the trailer like he's going to do a good job with this. Michael Cera is also in this film, which it seems like he's going to have like a sidekick role, which not really a running man thing, not from the original one, but if it's just a small limited role, I think he can make an impact. I think it could actually be funny and kind of be one of those roles where he was like, oh, he kind of stole the scene type issue. Now, I'm hoping the action in this particular film is actually going to be really good. There's explosions, there's some over-the-top stuff, which is needed for this particular type of film, but I hope there's not big lags of time where Edgar Wright likes to keep things fast-paced and moving. If you say nationwide, I'm kind of wondering how is he going to get across the nation, and there's going to be a lot of traveling scenes and so on and so forth. So I'm putting a lot of faith in Edgar Wright and keeping up with the pacing on this particular movie. Now, things that I'm wondering going into this movie that the trailer does not tell us. Is Arnold Schwarzenegger in this film? I just told you how big of a fan I was of Arnold Schwarzenegger, him playing Ben Richards in the original one, and it was one of my favorite movies of his, along with other great movies that he did. But I would like to see him come back as a cameo as Captain Freedom. So Jesse Ventura's version of Captain Freedom was a person that participated in the games, who won the games, retired, and came back as one of the killers, hunters, whatever they called them. Either way, so I would like to see Arnold Schwarzenegger make a small cameo for that. Don't spoil it. Let me happen to see him in the movie as Captain Freedom, whether he's there for a few minutes and he dies or something like that. I think that would be a great way to kind of call back to the original film. Now, how close are they going to keep this movie to the Stephen King book? Who knows? Because the Stephen King books can sometimes drag a little bit, and I'm hoping Edgar Wright keeps the pace up on the film to kind of keep you from being like waiting for the next action scene to happen while there's just a bunch of nothingness going on. But they've been adapting Stephen King's books going forward for reboots really, really well. Look at the reboots to It. So I'm expecting a lot out of this film. But those are just my thoughts and my kind of off the brain thinking and my reaction to the film or to the trailer. Tell me what you guys think about the trailer below. Were you old enough to see the original one? Because I'm dating myself talking about how much I enjoyed that original one. Or if this is the first time that you're seeing it and you're more familiar with it, or you were a book reader, tell me what you guys think of it. Let's talk about it in the comments below. And if this is the first time you're on the channel, make sure you subscribe as well as click the notification button so that way you're aware of all the other videos that we do on the channel. Most of the time. All right. So with that being said, you guys take care. Wait, guys, are you still here? I'm glad you're still here. All right, so if you look down, I mean, it's somewhere over here. Look down. We actually have a Patreon. So if you guys watch the show and you really like what we want to do and you want to help support the show and you want to help me get an editor so I can get to sleep at night because I'm really tired and you guys see all my mistakes in the episodes. So please go to patreon.com/thegoods. Give us a penny, give us a nickel, give us $1.
Just don't give us the finger.
Don't do that. But make sure you do donate something because we do have some giveaways. There's posters, there's t-shirts.
I'll sign something for you.
Exactly. So take a look, guys, and help us out. We appreciate it.